Welcome back, everyone. We continue live right here at Pittsburgh CW, 412-575-2600 on the Bordis and Bordis Hotline. Bob Pompeani, Ron Cook, and tonight at the Peterson Event Center, something we've never seen before, an all-time low in attendance for the opener of the Pitt Panther basketball season at home. Now, they played Navy the other night and they lost. Tonight against Montana, a team presumably they paid to come here. Well, that team not only made the money, whatever it was, but they also beat Pitt outright in overtime, 83-78. And Ron, it's tough to watch only because it's a whole new team. I mean, Ryan Luther is there. He's kind of the center point of that team, and they have a lot of new players who many people don't know. And it's going to take some time. Like their football team, they're very young, very inexperienced, and picked to finish last in the ACC. And
it's a bad league to be in, Bob. When you're young and not very good, you're going to have a horrible time. You know, Kevin Stallings, you got to give him time, see what he can do. I thought it was a lukewarm hire, but I said at the time, give him time and see what he can do, and you got to do that. It was a miserable year last year. Seniors there that he just didn't click with, and I blame the players as every bit as much as the coach. This year he's got new guys trying to fit in. It's going to be a real struggle.
Yeah, I agree with that about having time, but I also said that when there was a different athletic director here. Heather Light comes in, inherits this, and she may have a totally different agenda, which we don't know at this point. We'll find out. Let's go to Brad in Punxsutawney. Brad, how you doing?
Good, guys. Hey, thanks for taking my call. Hey, I saw something kind of unique today. I was looking online at the Pitt attendance for football, and I went to the website, and it said, like, tickets that are available for, like, the Miami game. And it had the only tickets available that for that game were the upper-level seats. Now, I'm a season ticket holder, and I've sat through the 30,000-seated game, first 6 games of the season. So my question is, if those seats are sold, are they people for Penn State next year that just bought tickets to get the tickets for that game? Because I was shocked to see, because, I mean, there's been nothing that sniffed even 45,000 at a game this year.
I don't, that seems strange to me. Ron, do you have a
I have no explanation for that. I can't imagine there being much of a crowd. That's Thanksgiving Friday. I guess it's going to be a noon kickoff. It's kind of significant now because Miami looks like they're headed towards the ACC championship game against Clemson. Pitt could kind of, throw a little wrench into their plans as far as being in the national tournament. I just don't see a big crowd there. I don't get that.
I don't either. Let's go to line 5. It's Robbie in Cranberry. Excuse me, Robbie.
Hey guys,
how you doing?
Good evening. Just have a question for you. Want your take? Can you put any kind of explanation on why it seems like the Steelers play inconsistently, and then you always hear they play up to their competition or down to? Is there any? Can you guys put any light on that at all?
It's the NFL, man. I mean, we see upsets all the time. Good teams lose when you think they're going to win. The Steelers have certainly done their share of that. Now, give them credit. They didn't lose yesterday. They easily could have. And when we had Roethlisberger on our show today, he goes, in the past, we've lost games like that. We found a way to win. That's the bottom line. And there are no style points. I get that. But you worry about if they don't play better, they're not going to beat good teams down the road.
I think that bye week, all those guys talked about having sleepwalk issues. They weren't ready. I do think it does affect it. And Chris Hoke yesterday, I thought, summed it up pretty well, because a lot of people were immediately just putting it on coaching staff. I don't think the coaching staff tells these guys not to come. They game plan hard. They do what they do. I think the players have as an ownership here. They're being paid a lot of money to come up, and players, you can blame coaches all you want, but players, there are a lot of them.
I agree totally.
And they have to buy into this, and they have to understand what they're doing.
I don't think the coaches coach less when they're playing a losing team. I don't believe that.
Line 4 we go. It's Dave in Beltsuver. Hey, Dave, how you doing?
Hey, Bob, how you doing?
All right, what's up, Dave?
I want to say something, then I want to ask you guys a question. You guys keep saying, give it to Le'Veon Bell, give it to Le'Veon Bell. But at times, like when he get a lot of touches, sometimes to me it seems like he gets tired. This is why I said to you before that they should use the other running back.
Connor.
So, he can get some rest at times. And I just want to know also, do you think that the Penguins are going to go to another championship by the way they're playing? I don't think so, but I would like them to go.
No, I think they have every right to think they're as good as anybody, although Tampa Bay right now is off the charts here. Speaking of hockey, they won again last night. They're 14-2-2. They have an unstoppable top line. I think it's the best line in hockey right now, Ron, and they got a good young goaltender. They have all the components, and they added some veteran leadership with guys like Kunitz, who was brought in this year. So I think the Penguins, when they play well and when they play their game, and it's too early to make any of these concerns, but they'll be in the mix all the way.
Well, they're not good enough right now, but it's November 13th. I don't think we're going to remember these games in April, and I think there's going to be moves made by Jim Rutherford. This team we see right now is not going to be the team we see going into the playoffs. I believe that firmly. I don't think the Penguins are worse than any team in the league. I mean, they're struggling a little bit now. It's awfully early. Check back with me in January, February. Check back with me in March, and I'll let you know where they are.
Yeah, and quite frankly, they played a lot of road games so far, and their top players aren't playing like top players. I think if it's a double Stanley Cup hangover, which could be,
how does Crosby not score a goal in 11
games? I don't know.
His career high, worst, low, whatever you want to say, is 12. He's one game away from matching that.
But I was encouraged in Nashville. I thought he played a really good game. And the one thing that you can tell that he's not playing his game is when he doesn't draw penalties. And so far this season, he's only drawn 2. He's committed more than he's actually drawn, and that's unusual. I think that'll change. I think a lot of home games coming up between December, I think, 2nd and 27th will have a lot to do with that. So we'll see. We've got to take a break. Brad, Aaron, and Carol, you're coming up next. This is the Nightly Sports Call on the Bordas and Borders Hotline. We're live right here on Pittsburgh CW.